Uh, this is the Hotel Association of Tarrant County. Today we have an amazing lineup of people from the hotel industry joining us. We're going to do a chat momentarily with Carlos Morales from the Gaylord Texan and Nancy Sorrells from the Sheraton Arlington. We also have David Winter from the Omni Fort Worth and Ivonne Zarate from Benchmark Hospitality at Deloitte University. They're all going to share their stories with you. And our panelists, they represent the best in the hotel industry. And I can't wait to hear some of their stories. And we're just thrilled that you've joined us to listen to these fantastic professionals. So first of all, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Julie Faver-Dylla, the Executive Director for the Hotel Association of Tarrant County, also known as HATC. HATC has been the trade association for hotels here in Tarrant County for 80 years. And that's right. We were formed in 1940, and this crazy year is our 80th anniversary. I am a hotelier. My background is in hospitality, and I've worked in every single department of the hotel industry, both in limited service and full service properties. And now I am so lucky to represent and advocate for 400 plus hotels here in Tarrant County as my full-time job every day. So I'll be your moderator for the remainder of our little broadcast here. But again, we are excited that you're interested in learning more about the hotel industry. There's over 200 positions or jobs in hotels. You know, most people think that you have to be a front desk agent or a housekeeper, but the lodging industry is so much more. So let us begin with interviews. Let's go to Carlos Morales from the Gaylord. Carlos is the Senior Human Resources Manager at the Gaylord Texan in Grapevine. He began his career in 2004 as an in-room dining captain and was quickly promoted to assistant general manager for a number of the food and beverage outlets. So Carlos later changed disciplines from F&B over to human resources by becoming one of the hotel's training managers for the next 5 years. Soon after, Carlos transitioned to the role of Star Relations Manager, and in his role, his infectious spirit and commitment to Gaylord culture continued to thrive. So today, he's responsible for overseeing Star Relations benefits and the International Student Exchange Program within Gaylord Human Resources. He works hard to maintain effective two-way communication channels between CoStar, providing an open door policy for stars to express concerns and receive support in determining appropriate actions and reviewing progressive, disciplinary, and supportive documentation for accuracy and consistency. Welcome, Carlos.
Well, thank you. Happy Friday, everyone. Super excited to be here with you, and we want to just welcome everybody. This is super exciting, just this huge opportunity for us to just connect with you in this manner, right? And to share our stories, because I personally, when I was, starting to find out what I wanted to do with my life, I finished high school and then continue on to with my education at UTA, Arlington. I really wasn't sure what to do, and I kind of just stumbled upon the opportunity with the hotel industry, hospitality. My background has always been in food and beverage, so as many students out there, I was waiting tables, doing dishes out there, and one thing led to another, and so that's really how the beginnings grew in me, right, as far as the background in food and beverage. At one point, I was a manager for freestanding restaurants, Mexican restaurants, Tex-Mex restaurants. And one day I saw in the paper that the Gaylord Texan was opening up a new property here in Grapevine. And I applied, and my true journey began to take place. Back in 2004, when the hotel opened, the only thing available was a captain position at in-room dining. And so In-room dining, of course, providing service to all 1,800 rooms. And, as a general manager for freestanding hotel restaurants, I was like, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to be just, captain? But I really wanted to work for this company, and I am so glad I did accept that position. The captain position really grew me into the next step, which was the assistant manager to outlets, such as the marketplace, the coffee shop, the pool area. And so my career continued on, became a manager for food outlets within the hotel. And one day, basically 2 years after I started with the company, the opportunity came my way to become a training manager. And I really, really enjoy that position a lot because it gave me an opportunity to be on stage every single day, onboarding, welcoming stars. We call each other stars here at the Gaylord Texan. We don't call each other employees. It's part of this culture. And so it really gave me an opportunity to share the awesome culture at the Gaylord Texan in many different ways on a daily basis with new stars, etc. So for 5 years, I facilitated many training programs as a training manager. And in about 08, 09, the opportunity came to join the human resources manager as a human resources generalist. And so really it really opened a lot of doors for me because human resources is one of those areas that allows you to be and focus on so many areas: benefits, star relations, recruiting, and then just connecting with people on a daily basis. Helping people really is what we do here in many different ways. So as of January of this year, I accepted the senior human resources manager position, overseeing, of course, the benefits, star relations. But in addition to that, we do have an international exchange program here at the Gaylord Texan, where we go around the world and hire for interns to come and help during special seasons such as Summerfest or ICE coming up, Lone Star Christmas, which is what we're really hiring now coming up on the Lone Star Christmas season. So that's in essence how I got to where I'm at. But it really happened, one thing led to another. I tell people, about hospitality. Hospitality is, it's an amazing type of really area to focus on because you're really connecting with people. If you are the type of person that you like to connect with people, to talk to people, just to be a human being out there and be genuine about who you are, hospitality is definitely one of those careers for you. So I'm just excited to be here to share everything I've learned, all of my experiences with you all. And I am looking forward to connecting with everybody out there.
Thank you. That was great. Do you have any advice for anyone applying to the hotel industry for the very first time?
Do not have any preconceptions about the hospitality. Just go in there thinking that you will be having a good time. Whatever it is that you do at hospitality, it is a fun place to work at. Hospitality is a fun career. And I always tell people, look, go and apply where your heart is and follow your passions. If you're having fun, you're not working anymore. That's my motto. All of a sudden, you're just living day to day and just having fun out there. So don't have any preconceptions about it. Be open and just to enjoy the experience.
That's great. Tell us a little bit about your day in human resources. What does that look like for you?
I can tell you, Julie, that my day is never the same, which I like that. It could start with a simple, transaction as helping somebody to reset their password. from that moment, I can go into sitting down with somebody to go over an FMLA document, maybe a new mom about to go and have a baby. And so I'll sit down with that person and we just go over the steps to ensure that all the documentation is, in proper place. Now, from there, it could be a star relation situation. Maybe somebody who receive some kind of disciplinary action documentation, and I am sitting down with that person to guide them through the process to ensure that, that behavior or whatever that happened is rectified and we can move on forward. From there, you can definitely be doing a lot of office work, as we all do, right? Answering emails, connecting with people, and recruiting. So it's a day full of so many facets that sometimes you don't even know what the day is going to hold. You just know that it is going to be good to just be open-minded because there's going to be so many things happening at the same time. I enjoy that personally in my day-to-day. So.
Well, thank you. It has been such a pleasure speaking with you and having you share your story with us. Is there anything else you would like to tell our listeners before we move on to our next panelist?
Well, I really, really hope to connect with the listeners, and who knows, maybe we'll be sitting down in an interview sometime, in the near future. I mentioned earlier that we are actively hiring for the Lone Star Christmas season. We have a lot of positions. These are seasonal positions that are open for anybody who's interested out there. GaylordCareers.com is that link that's going to take you to our world of opportunity. So looking forward to connecting with everybody.
Thanks again. So now we're going to chat for a few minutes with Nancy Sorrells. Nancy's the general manager at the Sheraton Hotel in Arlington. She has a business degree from Oregon State University, and her hospitality career has taken her from the Oregon coast, to Lake Tahoe, Santa Fe, New Mexico, to Fort Worth. She's received several leadership awards from Marriott International and sales and management awards from Weingartner and Hammonds. And she serves on the board of directors for the Texas Hotel and Lodging Association, and she's currently the vice president of the Hotel Association of Tarrant County. And she's a very dear friend of mine, a fantastic leader. Welcome, Nancy.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that little introduction. For those of you that don't know, Julie and I have worked with each other at, I think, 3 different hotels before the position that she's in now and where I am. And anyway, it's great to work with her, and it's great to be involved with the Hotel Association of Tarrant County. Just to tell you a little bit about how I got started into the business, it was a part-time job in the summer, and I got a job at the front desk at a Shiloh Inn on the Oregon coast. Just a job, didn't know what I was going to do, still going to school, and here I am. So it's certainly something that can be a part-time, can be a full-time career, and there's something for everyone.
Thank you. You want to tell us about kind of your role as a general manager and what that looks like?
Sure. I love my role. Being the general manager, I get to work in every department. I get to interact with everyone from housekeeping in the kitchen and the sales department and clients. So it's a very busy day, and you're never bored. There's always something going on. Lots of things, it's whatever fire's burning the brightest sometimes, but I really enjoy working with people. I really enjoy the team that I have, and I can't imagine being in any other business.
Awesome. We've seen a lot of ups and downs in our time in the hotel industry, I know in yours, and there's of course always been more good than bad, and but right now everybody knows that meetings and events industry has been hit hard by COVID-19. Nancy's and their hotel, they did a really great video, and we'd like to show that to you so that you can see just a little glimpse as to how hotels are safely conducting meetings. So let me see if I can put that on for you guys. I'm going to share my screen really quick and let you see some of the great work that Nancy and her team are doing. Hopefully you can see that.
I don't think we have volume, Julie.
Yeah, there's no volume.
Julie, you need to share the volume as well. If you go down to the microphone, hit the arrow next to it, and you can share the volume of the computer.
I'm trying, guys.
Our tech support again, good job.
I'm going to pause it for just a second. I'm sorry. I didn't know that you couldn't hear the volume.
No worries.
It's within Zoom.
It's within Zoom. Okay.
Yep, so go down to your microphone in Zoom, the little button, the little up arrow,
I
and
see
there should
it.
be an option to share volume or switch to computer volume. Or audio, computer audio.
I have audio settings. Sorry, guys. Let's see. So
Tell you what,
sorry.
Julie, if you want to continue on, I'll pull it up on mine and get it to go.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so sorry for the snafu. So Nancy, you want to maybe talk about a little bit what it looks like, you know, and all the things you're doing to meeting safely right now?
Absolutely. I think, you know, the biggest thing is awareness, making sure that we have hand sanitizers everywhere. You know, we have signage, front of the house, back of the house, making sure that people are wearing their mask, washing their hands, doing social distancing, making sure that we're, you know, 6 feet apart. And I think it's the consistency. I've heard other hotels, you know, oh, we're pretty good at that, or, you know, we're working on that. You know, I think it's just a matter of, this is our way of doing business. We've set up plexiglass, we've separated tables, doing whatever we can do to maintain our business levels and keep the number of cases going down so that we can open back up to normal business again.
Great. You guys have done a great job. You know, we're doing an in-person meeting at your property next week, and we're really looking forward to it. You know, you're being in Arlington, the entertainment district's right next to where you are. You guys have got some action coming up, some sporting events and all that kind of good stuff. Why don't you tell everybody what it's like to maybe work with some of these big groups and famous people in the hotel industry?
You know, you never know who you're going to run into. That's for sure. You know, I've run into some big stars at the buffet that you're kind of like, well, hello, how are you? Clint Eastwood was trying to get a banana one morning, and I was like, well, hello, Mr. Eastwood. But right now in Arlington, we have a lot of great things going on. It's close to final that we're going to have the World Series. It is final that we're going to have the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Of course, we're getting back to football again. It looks like we'll be at about, I don't know, 20,000 or maybe a little more people in the stands. We're just really looking forward to getting back to some business, you know, and getting people in our doors.
Well, good deal. What does it look like when you guys prepare for a big group like that? Like, do you do anything special with your staff, or?
Well, you know, it's really different now because it changes every day as to, are they going to come? Are they going to book? We have a limited staff right now due to COVID. So now we're trying to pick back up and increase our staffing levels to make sure that we're going to be prepared. But certainly, you know, BEO meetings and huddles and talking about the events that are coming in and what has changed every day. And just making sure that we have all the information to all the players communication is definitely a big key in our business.
Great. What do you think, Mike? Can you get that to go? Her video?
I can, if you can make me co-host. I can't share my screen. It's blocked to share.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Okay, we'll get you.
Might be able to click on my picture and then the 3 dots in the corner. Maybe it
Yep.
says make co-host.
I'm looking.
Technology is even a part of it.
All the reason why we meet in person and the meetings and events industry, right? Right. I can make you a host.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Is that
Yep,
okay?
do
All
that.
right.
Yep.
There we go.
Great.
Thanks.
All right. So we will.
Roll
the video.
that beautiful footage.
Yeah. Let me get it up here. One moment. Is it video? Audio?
No audio.
Video.
I couldn't find it either. Do we want to go? Let me go to the next one and we'll still get it because this is awesome. We want you guys to see this. Y'all did a great job. And thanks, Nancy, for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, glad to be here.
Thank you. Okay, so how about we talk with David Winter for a few minutes. David's one of my favorite people to work with in the hotel industry. He's such a joy to be around and is one of the most genuine and kind people you will ever meet. He is the Director of Catering and Convention Services at the Omni Fort Worth downtown, and that's a luxury convention hotel. And he leads a team of 10 catering and convention service managers and managing all aspects of the industry, from weddings to national conventions. Before joining Omni, he was the Director of Event Management at the Renaissance Worthington Hotel, the 4-star 5-diamond hotel in downtown Fort Worth as well. And he coordinated high-profile social events and national conferences. He's worked for Four Seasons, Hyatt, Holiday Inn, and Best Western Hotels, mostly in event management and food and beverage service. He's got a degree in hospitality management from the University of Wisconsin-Stout with a minor in business. He's been on the board of HATC for the past 3 years. So you guys help me welcome David.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for that kind introduction, Julie. And the feeling's mutual. Julie's done such a wonderful job as director of our association over the years. I can't help but be a pleasure working with her. It brings a smile on my face also.
Aww,
And good morning to everyone who's joining us also. And thank you for this opportunity for us to share a little bit about our industry and about our personal stories and how we got involved in this industry. You know, for me, I was in high school and didn't know what I wanted to do. And my mom got me a job. She was a waitress at a local college in a department called stewarding in our industry, which is involved with pretty much a lot of cleanup work. It's like the maintenance area of the kitchen, mopping pots and pans, setting up meeting rooms. And, you know, it's probably where I learned one of my first valuable lessons for me. And I think that really pertains to a lot of people in getting ahead. And it really kind of starts with who you know. It's making some connections along the way, finding ways to put yourself out there as you're looking for a job. Talk to your friends, family, church, whatever organizations you might be part of. but explore it. The more people know that what you want to do and what you might be trying to accomplish, the more help you have with your network. From there, you know, I worked my way up through the course of high school, and then my senior year in high school, wasn't sure what I wanted to do for a career. And the second life lesson I learned was I had someone that became a mentor for me. She took me under her wings, and actually took me to a local college and introduced me to the hospitality program. And basically, here I am today. Julie told me the rest of the bio. So, but really glad to be here.
Well, thanks for joining us. You know, David, talk to us about a few things that are most important traits to you that you feel someone needs to be successful in this industry.
You know, I think first thing, it goes back to what was discussed a little bit earlier. You need to find your passion. To be successful, you gotta love what you're doing. If you don't like what you're doing, you need to do something else, honestly. So starting out, explore a little bit, try different things. You know, Julie mentioned we have over 200, and it's probably even more than that if you kind of expand our industry a bit to hospitals, assisted living, country clubs, restaurants. There are so many positions in the hospitality industry. I'm sorry, I know we're here for Hotel Association, but those are all ways to work your way into hotels if you can't get in right away. And that's probably the first trait. Find something you're going to be passionate about. The second one, I think it's really important that you have a sense of initiative. You can't wait for things to come to you. You have to go for what you want. You don't have to run over other people to get there, but you need to speak up. You need to participate and get involved in things. If you wait for it, it's not going to come. Those are probably the two biggest traits for me personally, Julie.
Those are great. Good advice. What else would you might tell somebody that's trying to get their foot in the door for the very first time to the industry?
You know, I guess first goes back to the first thing I mentioned was that know what you, as best you can. When you're starting out, none of us really truly know what we want to do, what we want to be. So again, explore a little bit, try to find out what that is. Make sure if you want to get into the hospitality, if you decide that hospitality is going to be a career, you have to enjoy working with people, both in great times when there's big parties. A lot of what I do revolves around setting up conferences, conventions, weddings, outdoor events. And those are all really fun to be around and be part of, but you got to like working with people, and you got to be prepared to deal with challenges and things along the way, and find it's not always roses when you're working on events, for example. There are problems come up, and you need to be prepared to deal with those, and you need to be understanding. You need to be collaborative with others.
Well, you make it look flawless. I've enjoyed working as the meeting planner side with you in your position. And I've always appreciated everything that you guys have done service-wise. And tell me what you like most about your job.
Fun. I think we've all said that so far. You know, every day is different. A lot of the things that I think of have already been mentioned. I mean, over the course of my career, the celebrities I've met, you know, I'll tell one real quick story. We had a wedding at our hotel, one of the hotels I worked at years ago, and Harrison Ford happened to be pulling up into the valet area as the bride and groom were leaving. Well, he went over and he actually congratulated them, posed in pictures with them, and that made such a big difference to them. So it's those moments along the way, and they happen just about every day. You know, that over time, you know, I've been doing my career for a while, and things have changed over time. That, you know, it started out really, I enjoy just that sense of accomplishment, whether it's cleaning that counter the right way, but then being rewarded for it. It's being in an environment where people appreciate what you do. And then, you know, over time, planning events. I did event planning for a long time where I actually coordinated events. And boy, I tell you, there's nothing for me that's been more rewarding than being able to help someone plan their hopefully, and usually they've come off as a perfect event, whether it's a wedding, a business luncheon, whatever it might be. And it's that sense of satisfaction at the end of the event, knowing that I did something that contributed to somebody else's success. And that's evolved currently. You know, what I enjoy most about my job is I direct 10 people plus an additional half a dozen hourly associates. And it's helping people succeed, helping them develop, get ahead, and have better lives. And I'm thrilled I'm able to do that in my current role.
Well, you can see your passion in your work. You're one of the very best. And I'm lucky to get to work with you as often as I do. So thank you again for taking the time to share your story with us. So
Thanks for the kind words.
Oh, you bet. My pleasure. So last but certainly not least is the lovely Ivonne Zarate. Ivonne is currently the Assistant Director of Rooms for Benchmark Hospitality at Deloitte University. Prior to joining Benchmark, Ivonne has held various operational leadership positions, gaining 25 years of hospitality experience with various brands such as Sheraton and Marriott. She began her career as a housekeeper and worked her way up to leadership positions. She was born in, help me, Ivonne, go.
Guanajuato, Mexico.
Thank you. And moved to the States in 1995. And she is a self-taught English speaker, and she takes great pleasure in learning new things every day. So welcome, my friend. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. So thank you so much for the lovely introduction. And I am so sorry if at some point you hear a very thick accent. I always tell everybody I speak English. And there is a thing at work, and they have a list of Ivonneisms, because I sometimes say things that they don't match or they don't say, right? But I love the language. I love the English language. I moved, like you said, to the States in 1995, and I didn't speak the language. So I started working at the Radisson in downtown Fort Worth. That was the very first hotel I worked at. And the funny story is my entire family worked there. So my mom and I were a housekeeper. My sister came and joined us roughly about 3 years after, when she finished high school, and she was a concierge. And, you know, every single one of my family members were there, you know, for about 10 years. So I began learning the language. I fell in love with the industry immediately. So I had graduated I had a bachelor's in communication from Mexico. So my story is a little different than everyone in the panel. I came with no language. I came from a different culture to a different country, and my very first job was, you know, cleaning rooms, right? So we cleaned rooms in the morning, and then we stayed and cleaned the public space in the afternoon. It was great because I was doing it with my mom. So, you know, she was teaching me everything she knew, and soon I became the trainer for the department, and the director of rooms took an interest in me. Carolyn Simpson, took an interest in me, and she took me under her wing, sent me on through English lessons, and sooner rather than later, I was a front desk agent. I still remember shaking and being nervous on my first day as a front desk agent, because I was afraid, not saying right, which method of payment would you like to use today? So that was back in 1995, September of 1995, exactly. So, I fell in love with service. And the reason why I fell in love with service, I've always said that there's a special DNA for hospitality. You need to love, like David said, you need to have passion for service. Every single day of the 25 years I have worked in this industry, I have learned something new, whether it's from a guest, from a leader, an employee. Every minute of it, it's enjoyable, it's fun. Are there learning moments? Absolutely. There are learning moments. Not everything is perfect. Not everything is, you know, pink and butterflies. You know, do we make mistakes? Yes, absolutely. But the important part of it is to take those learning opportunities and make the best of them and learn and move forward from it. the hospitality industry, and I think that everyone has covered most everything, but the hospitality industry, and what a lot of people don't know, is that we are so diverse. I, with a bachelor in communications, right, I thought I was going to be in some sort of media, you know, in radio or TV, but my studies actually led to a lot of success in hospitality, because hospitality is a business of relationships. We are built based on relationships. I've known David, I've known Nancy, I've known Julie, and I have connections with so many people, and somebody knows somebody that knows somebody in the industry. We just said not long ago, you know, we are yet so large, yet so small, right? So in hospitality, you like cooking? We have the culinary department, and it's extensive. We can start as, like David said, in stewarding, cleaning dishes, up to prep cook. You like you like food, but you don't like that side of it. Well, then there's the service part of it, and you can be in banquets and work at your leisure whenever you want, whether it's the morning or the afternoon, or you want to set schedule in a venue, in a restaurant, or room service. Do you like fixing things? Then there's facility. Do you like IT? Well, then we have a whole infrastructure department. And then human resources, planning parties, luxurious parties, like my sister. My sister is a catering manager for the Ashton Depot. So again, passion for hospitality is an absolute must. But there are so many trades and so many things that could be done in hospitality. But I could be here for hours talking about hospitality, because that's what I love.
Well, you have an amazing story, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Tell us about what it's like to be rooms director at the hotel.
So the director of rooms, first and foremost, everybody says we have fun. So we do have a lot of fun. And oh my God, the VIP stories, like David was saying, right? There are so many of them that so many of us have. So I have one with Tony Bennett. I was the MOD, the PM MOD, and he was actually performing at the Bass Performance Hall, right? And he had finished his performance, and my shift actually finished at 1 o'clock in the morning. So he came in, went up to his room, and then later came down, and there was only 3 tables in the restaurant. And he approached the front desk, and in a very calm, quiet voice said, "Do you mind if I enjoy your piano?" And I said, as long as I don't get a bill from you, absolutely, please have at it. So, so many people that we meet, and we have a lot of fun, but, you know, we also have to do some serious work. So the rooms director in a hotel is in charge of 2 sides of the hotel, the front office and housekeeping, right? So from the front office perspective, we have reservations, revenue, the front services or bell stand, the reception or front desk, the communication center, which is where every single call and every single request comes through. So we are like a unit that it's basically the center of the hotel. Anybody that needs anything goes to the front desk. When you arrive to the front desk, you go to the front desk. So that's the front side of the room division. The back side of the room division, it's housekeeping. And housekeeping goes anywhere from laundry, public space cleaning. If you have a uniforms department, the uniforms department, the rooms cleaning, right? And somebody would say, "Oh, that doesn't sound interesting." However, the really meat and potatoes of where the rooms division is in housekeeping, because that's where most of the expense from the rooms division comes from. So knowing the intricacies and the formulations and everything that happens with consumption of labor and or, you know, purchasing supplies and managing the balance of properly measure all those expenses and making sure that all those pieces fall in place together, right, makes for a successful rooms division, right? Because you can create wonderful packages to attract them to come to the hotel, but if the expenses are not in line, then that doesn't do well. The most important role of the director of rooms is to guide our leaders, to coach our employees, to nurture those qualities of each of our team members so that we can continue to develop the new leaders in our hospitality industry. So that's, to me, that's the most important part of our role. And that's where I take the most joy. We are key contributors for the financial success of the property. But I think the biggest contribution that we can make is developing everyone in the rooms division, for sure.
You have such an infectious joy about you and love for the hotel industry. We can see it in your personality so much. Tell us what it is that you think makes you successful at your role there at Benchmark.
So I think that there's, aside of the passion and the joy that I have for servicing people, I think being able to listen, right, and having a servant leadership attitude, being open to receive feedback, right, sitting down in a feedback session with my team and listen to their concerns and involve them and engage them, creating a nurturing and cultivate that environment, cultivate their all their qualities, and learning from all of our opportunities. Those have been the biggest keys to my success, ongoing learning and self-development, and continue to do what I love the most, which is helping everyone. Sitting down, never closing your doors. I remember one of my first days at Benchmark, actually, I was having a meeting, right? I was having my very first stand-up as a director of housekeeping. And this is the biggest hotel I've worked for. So it's 800 rooms, right? So we had 50-something housekeepers. And I'm in the middle of them, you know, introducing myself. And somebody said, one of the room attendants said to me in Spanish, "And do I have to make an appointment to meet with you?" And I said, no, why would you make an appointment to meet with me? Actually, as a matter of fact, I'll go up and help you make a bed, and then we can talk about whatever it is interests you, right? It's connecting, making those meaningful connections with your team, making those meaningful connections with the guest. Like I said, we are an industry of connections. We are an industry where if you don't have that communication style, you don't have that DNA, if you don't have that passion for service, it's needed. It's a must.
What do you look for in someone who wants to join your team?
You know, that question would have been answered very differently 12 years ago. Today, what I look for is I look for passion. I look for determination. I look for attitude. I look for their communication style. I look for their work ethic. I look for someone who is, how do they receive feedback? I look for someone who is open to receive feedback, and I'm looking for someone who is open to learn from the past and to craft a better future. That's what I'm looking for when I'm interviewing somebody.
Very well said. Thank you so much for that and your words of wisdom. Mike, you want to try one last time for Nancy's video, or what do you think?
Yep, we can go for it.
Let's go for it.
Let me get it queued up here. And away we go.
Hello, my name is Nancy Sorrells, and I'm the general manager here at the Sheraton Arlington Hotel, located in the heart of the DFW Metroplex. First and foremost, we hope you and your families are safe and in good health during these complicated and extraordinary times. We want to make sure that you know we are here to ensure you have a safe place to stay, as the well-being of our guests and associates is our #1 priority. We know that meeting and events will look differently now. We've taken countless measures to address new cleanliness, social distancing, and food and beverage protocols.
A few examples include revised meeting room setup styles, prepackaged food and beverage, and enhanced service standards. We hope you enjoy the virtual tour, and we look forward to serving you in the future. Remember, we're all in this together. Thank you.
They did a great job with that, don't you think? That looks really good. Good job. Well, thank you again one last time to all of our panelists. We're going to be available to chat over on the booth side with you. So we'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have, and hope that you'll come and work with us one day in the hospitality industry. Thank you so much.